Hi Fantasy Managers, welcome to FPL Team Talk. We're talking about differentials in this video today. Those are players that are owned by less than 5% of the FPL community. We've picked out 5 for you. We'll have a look at the end at some of those that didn't quite make the cut and why. But these are the sort of players that are going to make a huge difference to your overall rank, maybe the difference in winning your mini leagues. So if you enjoy these sorts of videos, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And in the meantime, let's take a look. We will look at these players in terms of ownership, highest owned first. They're all under 5%. So what I would say is about the fact that they're all under 5%, they're not going to be players that are in your template side. They're not going to be players that have highly scored so far this season. There's a reason why no FPL manager is touching them. So we want to get on board these players before they start to do well. That's how we can get a jump on the other FPL managers, the people in your mini leagues, but getting on board early to players as they hit form or they have a good run of fixtures. So the first player we're going to have a look at is Ilkai Gundawan, Manchester City. He has played 5 out of the 7 games so far this season. He's a real favourite, it seems, of Pep Guardiola's. Club captain as well. He's got 2 goals, 1 assist. Certainly not good under the radar. But given how many other people have got Man City assets, possibly he is therefore not one of the ones that's been chosen. I, in my wildcard side, are definitely considering him. I've got Kyle Walker in there. Haaland is an absolute must. KDB sits in that middle. Do I save nearly £4 million, more than that, £4.5 million, to get Gundawan in instead? The money I could use elsewhere for that would be immense. He is looking pretty decent. Foden would be another option, but he's higher owned. Those fixtures just do not put me off. Any other team, I think I would say no thanks. Man United, Liverpool, then a blank, not interested. It's Manchester City. I'm confident they'll score against Man United. Southampton at home looks a great fixture. And even Liverpool away, you know what? They could score 2 or 3, and that's what I want. Goals, not necessarily clean sheets for Ilkai Gundawan. How do I negotiate game week 12? I've got a few weeks and 3 transfers to work that out, but I've also got 3 spaces on my bench. So Gundawan is definitely an option I'm looking at for my wildcard side. 7.6, it's a decent price for someone who's quite attacking. I mean, look at that XGI, 0.56. That's decent. Had a rest last game, so does that mean he starts this one? Scored internationally as well. Good form. I think he's a really good option. Next, we drop down a little bit in terms of ownership, but he's another one that I'm looking at. With Isaac having doubts on a flag on him, didn't play for Sweden. We'll wait for press conferences, but this is my next port of call, Watkins. Good fixtures. XGI is okay, not brilliant. What I do like about him is Gerrard has started him in the last 6 games and he just plays 90 minutes. Didn't start the first game of the season. Since then, he's been an ever-present. Just 2% owned. Is picking up goal assists. Looking decent. Great fixtures. Leeds, Forest. Can't ask for much more than that. You do look at these fixtures and see green. And sometimes I think you just kind of get bought in or suckered in by that. Leeds away, maybe not an easy. Then it's kind of the Midlands with Nottingham Forest. So maybe it's not as easy as you think. 7.2 though, you're not going to ever get the perfect set of fixtures. Do like Watkins. He's definitely a consideration for that slot up front for me at the moment. Next we come on, we're going to have a look at a defender. Emerson was originally in my side, but I have jumped now. He is in my wildcard team, Cresswell. With Wolves at home, Fulham at home, Southampton away. That's 3 great fixtures. Really good chance of clean sheets in there. West Ham, defensively, there's no one in there that particularly stands out. Emerson for his price, but Cresswell's on set pieces. XGI is okay. It's not outstanding. But the fact that he's just ever present, he started 6 out of 7. And I think he came off injured, didn't start the next one. But then he started the last game. So I think if he's fit, he just plays. 1.8%, no one owns him. Next 3 games, if he comes into my side, I can just pretty much just leave him. And then you got Bournemouth in game week 13. So I can just, 4 out of the next 5 game weeks, happily put him in there. 4.8. Good price. Yeah, I really like him. I think he's going to make my wildcard side. Next, we have another one that I'm temporarily, or tentatively, I should say, looking at. 1.1% own Harvey Barnes. His real favourite of Brendan Rodgers. Look at those fixtures. Forest, Bournemouth, great fixtures. Palace at home, Leeds at home, Wolves away. And despite Leicester's woes and struggles this season, they are still scoring goals. Might not be winning games, picking up points, but they are scoring goals. Barnes has only got one. His XGI isn't great, 0.18. I'm thinking with 3 out of 4 games being at home next, the fixtures look a lot kinder. Do I take a gamble? The reason why he's not so well owned is just because he hasn't performed that well up till late, and Leicester's fixtures haven't been great. Now they may turn. Do I go for Barnes? I am tempted. Maddison's the obvious choice. Not sure I want to go without him, so it's a case of do I double up on Leicester, or do I save $1 million and come off Maddison and go to Barnes? It's a choice that I'm looking at the moment. I think I prefer to go Maddison, but if I wanted to make up points in the mini league, Barnes may be a good differential to look at. Finally, I'm going to give you one little bit out there, really low owned. Patrick Bamford, 0.4%. He is just coming back for injury. He got minutes in the last game. His XGI looks great this season. He got 1 assist. I think that was in the opening game of the season. XGI is great, but it's such a small straw poll. The one thing I like about him is 7.3 is not great, but I do think he's the only striker Leeds really have. He's fit, he plays. He's had 2 weeks to get fit. I expect him to be playing back on pens. If Rodrigo comes back, and we expect him maybe in the next few weeks, possibly, I don't even think that interferes with Bamford. I think Rodrigo will drop deeper. Bamford is like the man to play up front. I think the fixtures look really good. Villa, Palace, Arsenal, Leicester, Fulham. Arsenal obviously tricky. I don't think Palace away will be that good. But Leeds, again, with Patrick Bamford, yeah, I quite like him, 7.3. Would I go over him over Ollie Watkins? Not sure. Would I go over him instead of Mitrovic for 6.9? I'm not sure about that either. But if I was looking for someone different, someone that's going to hit those marks, possibly Bamford. Safer options are out there. I definitely agree with the likes of Tony and Mitrovic. Bamford as a differential may be worth considering. Let's look at some of those players then that didn't quite make the cut. 1 or 2 of them. All of these still under 5%. Villa's fixtures look so nice. But from an attacking point of view, it just wasn't anyone that stood out for me as a differential under 5%. Bailey, strangely enough, but he's over 5%, was one. But under 5%, I've got the likes of Digne and Cash defensively, but they're both injured. Buendia and Coutinho, I'm just not sure whether they're going to get the minutes. So I've dropped down to Mings, 4.3. I do quite like his price. And then I started thinking, well, you know what? Away at Leeds, possibly a clean sheet. Away for us, maybe. But 2 away games, so difficult to keep a clean sheet in the Premiership away at anyone. Then he got Chelsea at home. So I thought, no, he hasn't got enough attacking threat to be able to really justify him going just on that. And clean sheets, not convinced. So in the end, I shot away from Mings, went for Watkins. Wanted to look at another Palace player because Zaha's the obvious choice and he's in my wildcard side. Chelsea at home is not an easy game. They've got Leeds at home like that. Leicester well, yes, from an attacking point of view. Wolves and Everton, great 4 fixtures after this week. If we're going to bring someone in, it's going to be after this week. It's just going to wait for that Chelsea game, then start to move in other Palace assets. I'm happy to have Zaha on the wildcard, even on the bench possibly this week. But Eze, one of the options at 5.5. Up front, they just seem that they've got too many chopping and changes. They don't seem to settle on Eduardo or Mateta. They're sharing so many minutes, so I don't like the look of that. But other than that, Eze, only other one I did consider, because he's ever present at the back, was Anderson. But again, do like it. Leeds, Leicester, Wolves, Everton, that looks quite nice. And Palace quite good defensively anyway. And he's definitely an option, but just not for Chelsea at home. I'd wait until the following week. Another side that I definitely wanted to look at was West Ham, because it got Wolves and Fulham and then Southampton. Liverpool, difficult fixture, but then Bournemouth as well. They look 4 great fixtures. So who do you bring in as a differential? Antonio, who was just a toast of FPL last year, started off so well, kind of tailed off towards the end. He's now under pressure in terms of they've got another striker in at their club, Scamatra. Probably haven't said that right. Antonio, though, continues to start up front. He started every game. He gets brought off early. They are managing his minutes. Not played in Europe, but I just wonder, with only 1 goal a season and the performances or the results not being there for Moyes, how much longer does he pursue with Antonio? So there is a worry over that, I think. 7.2, I just think we got Tony and Mitrovic. We looked at Bamford and Watkins. Just feels like 7.2, there's better options than him. But you know what? We know what Antonio can do. He's a class act. He could start scoring goals. And maybe he'll be someone to jump onto. if he was starting scoring goals, you'd probably think now is the time for him to start doing it. Wolves, Fulham, Southampton, 3 good fixtures. But in the end, I just shied away. Just too many variables. Not sure about if his minutes are going to be managed still, and just competition places. Just unsure. And then the same reasons, Paqueta, he looks good. 6 million, just not enough information at the moment. But you could gamble and go for him for 6 million, 1.3. Hardly anyone owns him. Again, I feel it's a little bit of a punt. But those fixtures are there for him. I mean, he's an option. I haven't ruled it out. I could easily sit here. I think it wouldn't take much for someone to sit here and convince me to bring him in for Wolves, Fulham and Southampton. I think that's definitely something that could happen. That's it for this one then, guys. Let me know in the comments below. Are you bringing in any of these differentials, or is there someone that I have missed that you think I should be bringing in? Let me know. We'll be coming back at you before the game week deadline to finalise my wildcard side. In the meantime, guys, good luck, and I shall speak to you soon.